New York is a famously polarizing city, loved by some, hated by others, a situation that's been the case for over 200 years. Even though it was selected as the U.S. capital in 1785, so many of the 26 senators and 64 representatives who made up the first Congress complained so much that the city was too crowded, too dirty, too British, that the capital was moved to Philadelphia just 5 years later. That said, New York must be doing something right. From dog-walking parks to romantic hotels, if there's a best-of list out there, the city has an entry on it, usually near the top, too. Take restaurants. Babbo, Daniel, and Nobu are regularly cited as world-class. And Lupa, Rock, and 71 Clinton Fresh Food get high marks as neighborhood favorites. In fact, of all the lists, what's most surprising is that New York didn't rank higher on the one that tracks who spends the most eating out, coming in 6th behind San Francisco, Dallas-Fort Worth, and Seattle, among others. One explanation for this is that there are so many good values here. New Yorkers don't have to spend a lot to get a good meal. As anyone who's ever eaten at Cabana Carioca and Soup Kitchen International will attest to. As for hotels, there's a best of for everything imaginable. For luxury, it's hard to beat the Peninsula on 5th. The library makes novel use of the Dewey Decimal System, devoting each room to a single subject. And if you're looking for Morgan's, keep in mind that it doesn't have a sign. Of course, once you have a room, the last thing you want to do is stay there. With all this nightlife, no wonder it's the city that never sleeps. Clubs abound, with every neighborhood seeming to offer something special. Theater is a big draw too, obviously, and it helps to understand how things are organized. Broadway, actually between Broadway and 8th, is where you'll find most of the big-name productions. Off-Broadway is divided into Uptown and Downtown, with Uptown Off-Broadway becoming mostly mainstream, and Downtown Off-Broadway trending toward high culture. Off-Broadway used to mean experimental or avant-garde, but it too is taking a more commercial turn, becoming something of a proving ground for Broadway productions. Whatever the choice, the tickets booth on 47th offers discounts of up to 50%, but lines can get long, and they only take cash. As for shopping, East 57th, Madison, and 5th Avenue are good streets to start with. For something a little less mainstream, there are the boutiques of Soho. And for bargains, the Orchard Street shopping district on the Lower East Side has over 300 outlets that offer just about everything for less. Guidebooks, articles, and even TV shows are a great way to familiarize yourself with a city. But what happens when you actually get there? You could tag along with a guided tour, but what if you want to go off the beaten path? You could also turn to a friend who lives in the city and knows its secrets, but what if you don't have one? Big Apple Greeter is a New York-based not-for-profit with 400 volunteers who speak a variety of languages and can take you on a customized 2 to 4 hour walking tour of just about any neighborhood you're interested in. And best of all, it's free.